Good morning. I hereby announce that pursuant to Section 5 of the Open Public Meeting Act, the adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in the notice which was sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and posted on the bulletin board in Township Hall, and filed in the Township Clerk's office on June 24th, 2025. Mayor Foster is not here today. Ms. LaMountain?
Here.
Mr. Impreviduto?
Here.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Here.
Mr. Romano?
Here.
Deputy Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. If we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if we could all please remain standing for a moment of silence in honor of our troops and first responders who serve us both home and abroad. Thank you. Okay, I believe we're going to start. We have Kendra in regard to our fair share housing. She's available only from 10 to 10:30 this morning, so we're going to deviate a little bit from the schedule on our agenda so that we can accommodate a call with her and she can be part of our meeting.
That's right, Deputy Mayor. So item 9 on today's agenda is a resolution endorsing housing element and fair share plan. This is a document that's required to be submitted by June 30th under the 2024 law that was adopted by the legislature governing the fourth round of affordable housing. This plan was put together by the township. It was provided to the planning board and was submitted for their approval last night because it is an amendment to the master plan, which I understand went forward. Kendra Lealy is our township planner and put together that plan and presented it to the planning board yesterday. So we have the benefit of her here by telephone to speak to it a little bit, if that's good with everyone, to provide us an overview of what we were able to put together for the submission.
Hi, everyone. So yes, Mike, last night the planning board did adopt the housing element and fair share plan addressing the fourth round obligation. The fourth round obligation is 106 units, and that's called the prospective need. The township also has what's known as a rehabilitation need of 129 units. I'll address the rehabilitation need first. You do have an existing rehabilitation program. That's essentially a program that the municipality provides funds to provide rehab of any major systems of houses that have low and moderate income families in them currently. I will say that the 129 units exceeding the prospective need of 106 is a little unusual, but it's based upon census data. Your construction official did what's known as a structural conditions survey, and that basically is a windshield survey of the units in the municipality that would meet the criteria per the housing regulations that would be considered in poor condition. And based upon that structural condition survey, he found that only 4 units met the criteria. And so therefore we are adjusting that number down to 4 units. In addition to that, you all have rehabbed 3 units since your previous third round judgment of compliance. So your rehab obligation actually is being adjusted from 129 units to 1 unit. You will continue to provide funding for anybody interested in taking advantage of that rehab program. The folks that do must be qualified as low and moderate income, and they must have a lien placed on their house for 10 years for the provision of a minimum of $10,000 to fix at least one of those systems. So that's the rehab obligation. Your prospective need obligation is 106 units. This was a mediated number. Your original number came from the DCA, Department of Community Affairs, based upon the Fair Housing Act methodology. That number was 133 units. We reviewed that and indicated that we thought it was something less than that. We believe that it was 98 units based upon review of the factors that created the obligation. Back in March, we, per the Fair Housing Act, we indicated that we thought you as a municipality believed that it was 98. The Fair Share Housing Center, as well as the builders, had objected to that number. Through mediation with the program, we settled at 106 units. So that is your prospective need. The Superior Court judge provided that as your number, ordered that as our number. The proposed plan to address the prospective need includes basically three mechanisms. One is extension of controls on 17 units. You actually extended controls on units back in the third round with over 100 units. Extension of controls basically means that the affordability controls or the deed restrictions are coming due during the period of time of the fourth round. The fourth round runs from July 1st in a couple of days, 2025, to June 30th, 2035, so a 10-year period. So during the 10-year period, if any existing deed restrictions are being expired, meaning they've run out of their 30 years, the municipality may extend those. So basically, you're able to take credit for units that exist. You don't have to build new units. You don't have to zone for inclusionary zoning that would provide for 17 units. So that's one of the mechanisms that we will take advantage of. In addition to that, there is an inclusionary senior development. Everybody is aware of that. That's the Vonage site, or CHA, 23 Main Street. There will be senior units there. 31 units are the ability for us to take advantage of now as credits. There is a max that we can take advantage of or take credit for, and that's 30% of our obligation. So while they are providing 48 affordable housing units, 31 will be addressed or at least satisfied, put towards the satisfaction of the obligation in the fourth round. The remainder will go to the fifth round. Yes, we will have a fifth round most likely, and that will be in 10 years from now. So those credits are called surplus credits, and they don't get lost. They will be addressed in another round. The other thing that we are getting from the CHA Vonage site is 15.5 bonus credits. And that's because the Fair Housing Act allows you to take half bonus credits up to a maximum of 25% of the number of units you are providing for any redevelopment of an existing commercial property. And that, of course, is what is happening here. The third project is actually a project that was part of the third round. It was an inclusionary project on Route 35. The developer did not move forward with that project. We actually had to deal with a deficit because that was no longer considered a realistic project, meaning it was not under construction. It did not receive site plan approval. So even though we have deficit units coming from the third round, with these three projects or mechanisms, we are actually realizing a surplus of credits towards the fifth round. The Route 35 project, which was an inclusionary project, will become what's known as a 100% project. You all have done this in the third round. You had a 100% affordable housing project through with the Walters Group in the third round. And so we are talking with the Walters Group and looking at doing a 100% affordable housing project on this site. The good news on this one is that originally they were proposing 170 total units of an inclusionary project. We would be providing up to 80 units, family rental units on this project. So reducing the number of units, all units will be affordable. We receive 11 bonus credits because we will be maxed out, but you receive a full bonus credit for each 100% affordable housing unit. The municipality is in the process of working with Walters Group and then also going to be moving forward with trying to secure the property either through negotiations in purchasing the property or potentially through the ability to condemn the property through eminent domain for affordable housing purposes. This property is 7.7 acres, and it will wind up to be about 10.3 units per acre, a lower density than what was originally proposed. Those are the three projects that we reviewed with the planning board. The planning board adopted it, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Kendra, this is Rocco. I just have a quick question for you. I'm not sure if you can hear me this way or through the microphone, so I'm doing both. Can you just remind me, we have the Route 35 project, we have Vonage. What was the other site?
Extension of controls, I think, Kendra.
Extension.
Is that what you were referencing?
And what is extension of
Correct.
controls mean?
Yeah,
I think?
three. I always call them mechanisms. While two of them are projects, the extension of controls is what I consider a mechanism.
Just for clarity, what does extension of controls mean in layman's
Extension
terms?
of control is basically every time a unit is considered to be a credit towards your affordable housing obligation, two things have to occur. One is that it has to be deed restricted for a minimum of 30 years to be available to only low and moderate income households. Once that 30 years is up, there's an opportunity to extend those controls for another 30 years. You will, and the Fair Housing Act requires the municipality provide a minimum of $20,000 to the owner of that home to extend those controls. A new deed will be filed, and then that unit will continue to stay affordable, and it saves the ability to have to build new units. You're using existing housing stock to meet the obligation.
Great, thank you. It's helpful.
And Kendra, it has to be extended for 30 years. It can't be extended for 10 years.
No, it has to be extended for 30 years. That's the minimum requirement.
And the municipality would be required to pay the homeowner for that extension?
Yes, there are new regulations, the uniform affordability controls through the DCA. We have new regulations that, and I'll just put it this way, that require a minimum of $20,000 per unit to provide to those homeowners to extend those controls. So yes, it is a new requirement.
I think just to be clear, any costs of that nature would come from the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, so that would not be a general fund expense that taxpayers are bearing.
Correct. Yes, you have a very healthy trust fund. You have plenty of money, and we did a draft spending plan indicating that that we would be providing $20,000 per unit.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, Kendra, this is DJ. So regarding the Route 35 project, that would be a similar project than what we did on Middle Road on the border of Hazlet, correct?
Correct. Yes. If we use Walters Group, it would be all the units would be available to low and moderate income households. The financing for that would be very similar. They would go for what's called low income tax credits, which is a very competitive program. And that is, that usually finances the chunk of the cost of the project. They would also receive conventional financing. The municipality will provide a backup for that as well. With 100% project, in order to get the bonus credits, the town either has to provide the property or provide a 3% of the project cost. And so in this process, most likely, not only is the town going to be potentially buying the property because you don't have existing property to do this, but to buy the property to donate it to the nonprofit and then potentially provide any gap funding that's needed to construct those units.
Okay, thank you. And then, I mean, by my quick calculations, between those, just the CHA property, if that were to move forward, and the Route 35 project, if that were to pan out over time, that would satisfy our fourth round obligations. Is that correct?
That's correct. And then your extension of controls also then gives you a surplus of over 34.5 units towards your fifth round.
Okay, thank you. That sounds
Sure.
good. Sounds good. to me.
And just for clarification, there's a very small percentage of the CHA property that's going to have credits going towards Trenton mandated housing. Just because I know there's been some misinformation and confusion that's gone around, so I want to make sure people understand that part. Yeah.
Yeah, since we have the benefit of Kendra, perhaps Deputy Mayor, we could have the public comment on agenda items, including specifically this particular agenda item.
Sure.
And before we get to public comment, I want to make sure I can put things into context for everybody really quickly. The last round, if I'm not mistaken, was 10 years ago. None of us were here. Mike, not even you, I don't think.
By the time it was settled, I was here.
Okay, all right. So there, so this is state mandated stuff, right? The last time this happened, Holmdel approved, I think, 260 units, Trenton mandated units. We took a couple of I would say, certainly one or two extraordinary steps when faced with this one. For context, when Trenton mandates, for example, 100 affordable units, they're really saying in many cases could be 500 because builders need to make money, right? And so when you build 100, they need to build market rate homes as well so that they can make money off of this process. So the 260, but what Trenton doesn't do, right, is pay for your infrastructure improvements. They don't pay for your expansion of your schools, your roads, your more police, firefighters, et cetera, when they sort of force you to increase your population and the number of domiciles in your town. So the last round had approved 260 units. This time, I think extraordinary work negotiating the number down from what we were mandated to from 135 or 136 to the 106 that we currently have. I think in addition, we've blunted the ability for developers to sort of quote unquote make money off of affordable housing by ensuring that we've got the 100% affordable going in, and by ensuring that a small percentage goes to a potential redevelopment program. Further to that, we're the only this is the only governing body in 40 years that actually sued the state over the obligation. We started it last year, and Mayor Foster's continued it this year. Now it's going to, is it still in federal court, Mike? So I just want to make sure you guys understand that this, we've taken as many steps as possible to fight this battle, but we also had to be responsible, stewards of the township and have a plan in place, because if we lose in court, we can't not have a plan. So we operated on parallel paths to try to ensure that we're operating in the best interest of the town. One is the more desired outcome, right, which is to win and blunt additional development in Holmdel. But the other is the responsible path that we're taking in case we lose in that situation. So I just want to lay out the context of this entire situation for everybody so they understand what we've done in the past and where we are now and what we're trying to do to, really prevent as much development in Holmdel as possible.
Thank you.
Yeah, well said.
At this time, we invite the public with any comments regarding the proposed resolution to accept the fourth round housing element and fair share plan. Okay, come on up.
Patrick Trisquita, 56 Line Road. I reviewed the plan and I congratulated Kendra last night. It's an excellent plan to address the fourth round for housing. I want to make note that it's really just two projects that are excellent for Holmdel. One project being the Vonage Senior Housing Complex that provides a lot of benefits, including the First State 5 acres and a senior facility inside there. And then I think equally as well to make a standalone all affordable housing of 80 units like the Cornerstone. Cornerstone came out excellent by anybody's standard. It looks great, fits in perfectly on Middle Road. It's excellent. If we could complete 80 units of affordable housing like that with this same developer, with Holmdel donating the land by acquiring it through eminent domain, would be a great way to really get ahead of the affordable housing challenges. With those two projects, we essentially complete the fourth round said and done. Of course, the lawsuits will go down, but I don't think Holmdel will have any issues going for the next 10 years. And it will keep Holmdel. I think those projects are a benefit to Holmdel and in no way changing the character and the nature of the township. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Pat. That's the goal. So thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Seeing no further, I guess we have a motion? Do we have a motion to approve the resolution?
Motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Impreviduto?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes, and thank you, Mike and Kendra and Andy Bear. I think I'll throw that in there, and everyone, and the Mayor Foster on their work on putting this plan together. It's a great plan, for Holmdel. Thank you. Yes.
Mr. Romano?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor LaMountain?
Yes.
Resolution 2025-184 has been successfully passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kendra. I think we're good with everything on that.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Kendra.
Bye-bye.
I think next we have the approval of the minutes
Yes.
from May 13th, 2025, executive and public
That's
session.
correct.
Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Impreviduto?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Romano?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor LaMountain?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The minutes have been successfully passed.
Okay. Next, we have any public comment regarding agenda items. Any public comment for agenda items? Seeing none, close public comment. And do we have questions? Motion to approve the agenda items.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Just to clarify, that's the consent agenda.
Consent agenda.
Resolutions 2025-165 to 175.
We had a motion and a second, correct? Mr. Impreviduto?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Romano?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor LaMountain?
Yes.
Okay. Resolutions 2025-165 through 2025-175 have been successfully passed. Do you want me to take this? Yeah. Next is resolutions for the ABC license renewal for the 2025 and 2026 year. This would be for resolutions 2025-176 through 2025-183.
Okay. Any public comment? Nope. Motion. Oh, motion? Sorry.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Impreviduto?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Romano?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor LaMountain?
Yes.
Okay. Resolutions 2025-176 through 2025-183 have been successfully passed. Thank you.
Now we move on to departments. Okay. Committeeman Romano? Oh, sorry. The nervous jitters, excuse me. Would you like to go ahead?
I'll be quick today. I met with the CFO about the capital budget request that were put in. We're meeting, meeting with separate department heads to confirm the needs of each one of them. We have that big list, but, we always want to make sure we're doing the right thing. So what we're doing is we're going to meet each separately with the department heads after I met with the CFO. And then, once we have that actual capital plan, which will include the road program and stuff like that, we're going to try to get, we will have an introduction of a capital ordinance for that at your next meeting. So that's our goal, is to have it for your next meeting. So just putting all that together and, making sure we did the right thing. You got me again. See, she yells at me usually, but you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's good. So I'm loud. Everybody heard me? I'm loud enough? Okay. So that was the one thing. Hang on, let me just lost my train of thought here. On Monday, we evaluated the storm damage that we had from the 19th. That was pretty extensive throughout the town. With the number of trees and brush that came down, the decision was made to move forward with a second full brush pickup that will start at the end. We're in D right now, section D. We're going to start it on the 7th after the holiday, and we're going to start over again. And we're going to go from A through D again. So we have advertised it so our residents are aware and get that stuff picked up. Because again, it just builds up, and we do have the funding under our storm account. We do have a storm account that is outside of our budget that is well funded for situations like this, and we'll take care of that. And then now that the 2025 budget has passed, our operating or our OE budget has passed, it's time to begin looking at 2026. I'm now looking and evaluating it myself to see where we are. The next step would be in September, department heads are going to be meeting, and they're going to be starting to come up with their budgets. I'm going to task each one of them to come up with a solid budget that we we've looked at and made sure that the spending needs are needed. You know, I don't want to exceed areas that may have been there in the past. If we're not spending that money, or if it's not needed, then we're going to need to reevaluate that. And it may only be a few dollars here, a few dollars there, but when you add it all up with all the departments, you know, we're looking at another 15% on state health benefits. So that is a major concern. So when we save in one area, we can use it in another area. And then finally, the state health benefits program, as you all know, is looking at another 15 to 18% raise. I know that there's a lot of people working on that right now, but on our end, we are bringing in the benefits, the benefit card or the difference card people in July. They're going to be giving a presentation to our employees. I will also send it out to the committee if anybody would like to hear it. Basically, it's a program where our employees would have the option to go into a lower, less expensive plan, and we would cover the remaining costs. It's been proven in many towns. I did have it in Shrewsbury. The town probably saved about $100,000 on a small town like that. But it is a huge savings for the employee. It's actually almost a 20% savings per employee. And it's the same coverage. It's kind of taking the risk that, you know, the out-of-pocket will never meet the full $14,000. And the way it was explained to me is that you have to be in pretty bad shape to spend that out-of-pocket. So it's working in a lot of counties. At first, when I heard about it about 4 years ago, I was a little skeptical, so I wanted to see it kind of play out. And it's played out pretty well. So, and it's not something required. The unions have to agree to it, but no single employee has to take it. So they'll still have their option of keeping the one they have. But if they do choose to save, they save more than they actually are the bigger beneficiaries of the change. So we're working towards that. We're going to have the dates, and I'll send them out. And again, if you're available and you're willing to join just to listen and ask questions, please do. And that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris.
I have just one quick thing for the administrator. Chris, again, fantastic job by the DPW and the police department, everything during those storms. But one thing I just noticed, stuff that did fall down, debris, branches, I'm still seeing some stuff around town, particularly on South Holland, and then I go to work every day. And I don't know if the DPW is doing that or if we are contracting a tree service to remove those things and get them, you know, or shred them and, you know, get them out of there. But if you could just look into that, the stuff's starting to brown up now that fell. So, you know, just it's an eyesore.
Absolutely. We're working on a lot of that. I know we had on Hilltop, I believe it's Hilltop. I'm learning my road still. Hillcrest, right. I was there and they had a large tree come down and I was there looking because I was looking for the road situation that we're looking over there. And I was like, wow, they cut it all up and it's blocking the road. So I actually had them go out there and do that work ahead of time. So I will have them, again, go out to certain areas that we see that need to be done right away. We'll get them done, and then we'll finish the rest afterwards. So,
Appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
And Chris, I have one as well. Can we repost on social media or the website the requirements for the brush on the street? You know, I know in speaking to the DPW, it's been a problem with the size of the brush and the piles being put out.
Absolutely. I'll have our PIO work with our DPW to get those rules and regulations put up ASAP.
Thank you, Chris. Okay. Is your mic on? Yes. Okay. Next, we'll move on. Bill isn't with us today. We'll move on to professional reports. Michael, anything to share?
Yes, just one update, Deputy Mayor. The Township Committee at a previous meeting adopted an ordinance authorizing the condemnation of the Pappas Farm property. I just want to report out that we did go ahead and file that in Superior Court earlier this week, so the condemnation proceeding is now pending.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay. And our engineer is not with us today, so we'll go ahead and move on to boards and committees.
Thank you, Deputy
Committeeman
Mayor.
Romano.
Thank you. So starting with the Holmdel Library, we have a couple upcoming library programs for kids and teens. Stage a Story on July 10th at 11 a.m., where they can act out stories in creative drama workshops. The New Jersey Snake Man is coming July 28th at 6:30 with a live reptile program. Slither on in for an unforgettable adventure. Impressionism lecture and art class, June 26th at 6:30. We have a Zoom online art class. Learn about the Impressionist movement and draw along your own version of Monet's famous water lilies and bridge paintings. From the Board of Ed, we had our end of the year wrap up. The school district congratulates all students transitioning to new endeavors and educational journeys, from our preschool and kindergarten moving up ceremonies to the middle school graduation and high school commencement exercises, which took place last Wednesday, June 18th. The district conferred middle school graduation certificates to 240 students and high school diplomas to 243 students. Over 200 of our high school graduates made lasting memories at the annual project graduation event. Special thanks to the project graduation chairpersons, Lorene Tivan and Renee Luttrell, as well as to all the volunteers and donors who once again made this important and special event possible. The future plans of our graduates: the class of 2025 was one of the most exceptional academic standing, sending students to a wide range of outstanding institutions of higher education, as well as military, trade schools, and workforce. Among the very many fine institutes that this year's graduates will be attending are Columbia University, Princeton University, Brown University, Northeastern University, Bernard College, Cornell University, New York University, University of Notre Dame, University of Michigan Ann Arbor, Boston College, University of Miami, UNC at Chapel Hill, and Villanova University. University. From the Veterans Committee, we actually had our second Veterans event yesterday here at Town Hall. It was a well-attended event. It was larger than the last one. We had 21 Holmdel seniors join us, veterans join us. It was a great forum. We shared a lot of funny stories, and we were able to catch up on a lot of the going-ons in town. You know, among the topics we covered, a question came up concerning veterans benefits that I couldn't answer regarding the $250 a month veterans benefits. I did communicate that to Assemblywoman Vicki Flynn and Jerry Scharfenberger, and they're researching that for me to see who we talk to or how we petition a change there. We spoke a little bit about the Holmdel 250th event. I spoke at that event, and we had the banners from the event up here going over some of Holmdel's Revolutionary War history. There were some questions about the Crawfords Road expansion, which we discussed. They also brought up this is for you, Chris, where the polos are that they were promised. So we kicked that one to the budget and said, we just approved the budget. There were questions about the De Palma farm, so we were able to go over the township's stance on that. And generally, we have a couple tentative plans for the veterans event, for the veterans at the end of the year, including a bus trip, possibly bringing them to the Battle of Monmouth reenactment. So we have some cool things planned. Have a little bit of budget. We might also bring in a keynote speaker. I believe we spoke about that. So it was a good event all around. We're adjourning for 2 months, so we're taking the summer off, and then we're hitting it back up in September. Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. Committeeman Preveduto?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. From the Holmdel Police Department, this year's National Night Out event is scheduled for Tuesday, August 5th, weather permitting, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Residents are invited to come out and meet members of the police department and their neighbors. It's a fun night full of activities, music, food, information, and community. We look forward to seeing everyone there. On Tuesday and Wednesday, July 1st and 2nd, Bethany Road will be closed from Telegraph Hill to the Garden Trailer Park. The closure will begin at 7 a.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday and will be reopened both nights once the work is complete. Residents in the area will be able to access their homes, but there will not be any through traffic over the railroad tracks. The reason for the closure is due to utility work being done on the new Bethany Road development. Follow our social media for changes or updates, and please plan an alternate route or follow the detour signs during this time. From the Holmdel Fire Department, the fire department is selling custom engraved bricks to help fund a 9/11 steel memorial monument that will be erected on the front lawn of the Crawfords Corner Fire Station. The custom pavers cost $125 and will be installed as a permanent part of the memorial. Please check our website and social media pages for information. The fire department placed a used clothing bin in the Centerville Road Fire Station parking lot. We accept all clothing, shoes, belts, purses, blankets, linens, and stuffed toys. Your donations of used clothes raises money for the Holmdel Fire Department, so please help the township by donating. From the Department of Public Works, as Mr. Administrator mentioned, due to last week's storm, Holmdel Township has scheduled an extra round of brush collection to help with cleanup. The schedule is as follows: Section A, Monday, July 7th; Section B, Monday, July 14th; Section C, Monday, July 21st. Section D, Monday, July 28th. Please remember to follow all normal brush collection regulations. Limit of 3 piles at the curb. Brush piles should be no larger than 4 feet high, 4 feet wide, and 6 feet long. Maintain 6 feet of space around each pile. Branches should be no thicker than 6 inches in diameter. To find your section based on your street name, please visit the Public Works page of the Holmdel website. A reminder also that there will only be one large item drop-off event per month in July and August. This Saturday, or not this Saturday, Saturday, July 12th, and Saturday, August 9th. I also, on a personal note, want to thank the Board of Education for adjusting to the weather, and it's obviously Superintendent Cascone on the work they did. My son graduated Holmdel High School last week, and so they had to adjust on the fly due to the heat and of course the stormy conditions coming in. I think they did a fabulous job, and really, really impressed by the work that they did there. I also want to thank Assemblyman Scharfenberger, Assemblywoman Vicky Flynn, Committeeman Romano. We were able to attend the kickoff for the 250th anniversary of America at the Holmdel Community Church, where we dedicated a couple of grave sites to Revolutionary War veterans. Committeeman Morano had the pleasure of speaking there, but it was a really impressive ceremony, and it was great. And thanks, obviously to our 250th committee here in Holmdel and to the Daughters of the American Revolution for putting that all together, allowing us to attend and really embrace an historic event. So, Deputy Mayor, that is all I have. Thank you.
And congratulations on your graduate.
Thank you.
Committeeman Lucarelli.
Thank you. Just have a few things from the Holmdel Swim Club has begun its full schedule, and the club is now open 7 days a week, and memberships are still available. Summer recreation program. The program kicked off yesterday, and the kids are having a great time, even with the heat. There are still spots available in the next 5 weeks, so it's a great opportunity for the children to make new friends and enjoy activity-filled week at Cross Farm Park. We also have a summer, summer barbecue. Due to the schedule of the recreation staff, the senior barbecue was moved from today to Tuesday, July 8th. The event is open to any Holmdel resident age 62 or older. Please call the Recreation Department for more information. And also on June 13th, the emergency services had their night that the township gives them at the swim club. The members of the Holmdel First Aid Squad and the fire department enjoyed exclusive use to the swim club and food from the snack bar. DJ Steve from No Limit Entertainment provided the music. This is our way to say thank you to the people and the volunteers who give countless hours to the township, and I'm particularly proud about that. That was something that when I was mayor, I spoke to Bob Ward about, and initially we wanted to do a barbecue up at front of the new fire department and have an event for both first aid and the fire, and then the conversation, kind of led to us having it, giving them the exclusivity at the swim club, and I'm happy that we continue to do that. I think it's a nice night for the volunteers and their families to it's a little bit of a thank you from us and the residents of the township. So I'm glad that was a successful event. That's all I have for you. And I also had a graduate, but that's okay.
Oh, congratulations! I don't know why I didn't dawn on me.
And we're lucky that they did move it inside. I know I read in the paper or the patch the other day that Raritan had to do it last minute because of the heat, and also I know that there were some issues in Freehold Township with some elderly people were outside. They decided to continue to have it outside, and there were some people that passed out and et cetera. So I know it's a tough decision. The students weren't happy, but it was the right decision to make, and it was a nice event. Yeah.
And
thank you.
And Committeeman, if I could just say, what you initiated with Bob at the swim club has been fantastic. I was able to actually attend briefly with Mayor Foster, and they are incredibly thankful to have that time at the swim club and the exclusivity. So that is definitely, something that's going to live on.
Thank you. Okay. From the Community Development Department, in regard to the facts regarding tree removal, I know there's been a lot of questions about it, so the Community Development Department put together a whole list of frequently asked questions so that you can review it yourself. You can log on to our website and hopefully it will help you answer any questions you have. But of course, if you do have further questions, you could call over to the department. You could reach out to us and we'd be happy to further help you with that. As mentioned earlier, the Holmdel 250th Committee, our kickoff event was a great success. Thank you so much, Committeeman Romano, for being a part of it. Unfortunately, I was out of town and I was pretty bummed that I had to miss it. I participated in a couple of the meetings for planning, and I have to say the enthusiasm is amazing. Everyone's very excited about all of the upcoming events over the next year to celebrate our 250th anniversary of the American Revolution. And we've put together some different ideas for events. We have in the works a Revolutionary Holmdel Trivia Night, something called Unearth the Revolution, Holmdel's Scavenger Challenge, Brushes with History, Holmdel's Revolutionary Mural Challenge, and then we're planning to culminate our year celebration with a bus trip to the reenactment of the Battle of Monmouth and a Holmdel 250 Freedom Fest cookout and picnic next summer. So if anyone is interested in participating, whether it's a few hours, whether it's on a regular basis, we're actively seeking volunteers for a whole bunch of different roles. So there's no amount of time that's too little. It's great, meet new people, share your ideas, and it's going to be a great upcoming year, both within Holmdel, countywide, statewide, and across the country. I want to offer a special thank you to the folks that participated this weekend in the kickoff event. There were numerous members from our Holmdel 250 committee, the Middletown chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution, as mentioned, Committeeman Joe Romano, and I have to say I loved the pictures, especially with the Hornet. Assemblywoman Vicki Flynn and Assemblyman Jerry Scharfenberger were a great part of it. Peter Maneri of the Holmdel Historical Society, Jake Rue and the Sons of the American Revolution, William Fields, Diane, Lynn, and all the staff of the Holmdel Community United Church of Christ who hosted the event, as well as our Holmdel Police Honor Guard. The Holmdel Green Team, some updates. The Green Team continues to work on the community energy planning. The next meeting will be July 17th. The Green Team is also beginning work on the local government energy audit application, and the next regular meeting for the Green Team is Monday, July 14th. As usual, it is open to the public, so anyone interested, please feel free to join in. For the mayor's report, the Daughters of the American Revolution are presenting an award, or have presented an award to a police cadet. It is their Youth Citizens Medal, and it's presented to an individual of school age who exemplifies honor, service, courage, leadership, and patriotism. This past week, they presented the medal to Police Cadet Cameron Canelon, and in the words of Patrolman Quaglia, who oversees the cadet program, Cadet Canelon is a dedicated and hardworking member of the Holmdel Township Police Cadet Program. She is a natural leader who never misses a meeting, even choosing to attend on her 17th birthday, showcasing her deep commitment to law enforcement. Cameron consistently goes above and beyond in her training and responsibilities, always striving to improve and support her fellow cadets. Congratulations to Cadet Cameron Canelon on her award. Thank you. Okay.
Next would be public comment, and I'd like to read this small phrase. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, this is a public comment period or public comment on any governmental issue of public concern. In accordance with Resolution 2022-17, public commenters are asked to raise their hands and wait to be recognized by the mayor before coming forward and making public comments. Commenters are asked to state their full name and address before commenting. Public commenters are limited to one comment, not to exceed 3 minutes. Comments should be directed to the mayor and the township committee. If appropriate, the mayor may direct and recognize a staff employee or professional to respond to comments either at this meeting or in writing after this meeting. And for this meeting, it would be the deputy mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone have any public comments they'd like to come forward? Come on forward, sir.
My name is Rich Arway, 95 Iris Court, Holmdel.
Can we lift that microphone for us? Is it?
Oh,
It's on, definitely.
Yeah, no, I just want to kind of lean over. I just wondered if we could make it taller.
okay.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. This is my first meeting in 25 years.
Welcome.
I have a interrelated comment, and I notice I'm only supposed to be able to relate to one. And maybe this has been discussed a few times, but I'm here about the overrun deer problem. We can't even plan anything anymore. And I know for the past 50 years, residents have taken over the deer land to build their houses, etc. Now things seem to be reversed. Now we have 10-foot deer fences all over the town, all over Colts Neck. There's no complaint about private farms. I mean, private farm is just what it is. But I do have a complaint about Green Acres, specifically the De Palma farm, where I think my tax dollars were used to put that fence up, maybe not. And that's the basis of my complaint, I guess you will call it, is we're just, you know, now all the deer are forced into the residential areas. They have nowhere else to go. There's thousands and thousands of dollars are being damaged. You can't find an arborvitae that hasn't been eaten unless there's a fence around it. So, that's all I have to say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
May I, Mayor? Deputy Mayor? That is definitely is a major problem in Holmdel, but it's not just a Holmdel problem, unfortunately. It really is a county and a statewide problem. My own yard gets decimated. You know, I run a nursery, and we can't sell about half of the species of things anymore just because no one in this area will buy them and plant them in the yard because they're gone in a week or two. It's crazy, and it's because of the deer population in general, and it's because of there's so much less hunting in the state. The younger generations don't hunt particularly, or even the older generations that used to hunt more don't have the time to hunt. So it's crazy, and the state allows a lot of extended permits and extended seasons to curb the population, but there's just not enough people hunting anymore, and that's the biggest problem. I don't particularly believe that the deer fencing around the farms is exacerbating that problem, but I know it doesn't help it. But I think it's more of a general problem that we have to statewide, that there has to be some type of at least something there on the state level that helps with this. But I do agree with your concerns, and I know there's a lot of residents that have these concerns, and it's something that we're always, I guess, considering or looking at, but not many options for us on the municipal level to really work with. Not many tools in our tool bag, so to speak.
Can I make a quick comment?
Sure.
Sure.
I'm glad you have said what you said. I happen to know, in fact, you asked Police Chief Shrewsbury, I'd rather not mention any names, but he and his family are avid bow hunters. And they don't hunt for sport so much as they do for, they actually eat the deer. He told me that he had all the paperwork that you would ever need, and he does hunt in, of all places, Lumsden and Fairhaven. I did call the township, and I was told that there was absolutely no bow hunting or any kind of deer hunting in Holmdel. So it might be something to consider. I don't know if it would help or not.
It is something that we can talk about as a committee. I know the county park system does allow bow hunting in Holmdel Park and a couple of the Harding property. There's a couple properties in Holmdel that they do have it. They do allow some seasons. Not Harding property, behind it there. But it is something that we can talk about. There's not a lot of areas that we could allow it, but it's something that we could at least speak with internally and see if there's any options there.
Thank you. Any other comments? Come on forward, Jay.
I wasn't going to comment about the deer like I've had done in the past 20 times, but
Jay.
Jay Yanello, 18 Ladwood Drive. But I think this is another example of what, yes, I realize, like you said, Mr. Lucarelli, it's a state could work with this, but I think this is another example where our county could take this more seriously and focus on this. Like I've also said, the county could take our street light out epidemic problem throughout all of the towns in Monmouth County and take it more seriously. We get their wonderful newsletters and we get their mobile vans and we get all these other things, but there's some very big elephants in the room that the county should address. And I know many of you have good relationships with the people in the county, and I would again encourage you to take this more seriously. Respectfully, landscaping is the last problem I see with deer. It's them running out. It's the car accidents. It's our insurance rates in this area. It's the potential for a kid who's not a great driver driving home at night on 520 to just get railed into a tree because a deer jumped out. They're all over the place, and I think that should be taken more seriously. About the storm, sorry I missed the meeting. I'm having tree work done and other work. I'm running around today. But that storm was really bad, particularly in the Ladwood area. We think there were 90 to 100 mile an hour winds. My big heavy Weber grill went basically airborne. One of my neighbors lost like 7 trees, another 8 trees. But I want to thank the DPW. Maybe you guys did already. They did a great job. I was out there in the streets with them at 10:30 at night trying to move some stuff. So they did a great job. The other thing I just want to revisit is these somewhat monster power lines that are being installed that we talked about from JCP&L. I get that there's only so much we can do. We've tried these arguments with what the BPU is allowing. But if you look at some of what they're doing, some of these big poles on Route 34 have like 6 to 8 super thick metal high tension wires with cones that are supporting them. I mean, we need to really look at what they're going to put as they traverse through our town and maybe have a conversation with them like, hey guys, can we make this look halfway decent? I just don't think we should roll over and say, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, if Monmouth County rolled over, we would have those monster power lines along, that whole thing. So these poles are really big. They're probably not needed to be that big, but if we're going to have them, we need to have an active voice to what this looks like. All right, thank you,
No,
that's it.
thank you, Jay. And those, we'll go ahead. The problem with the deer, I think there's a consensus that it's an issue, and we'll talk as a committee and see how we can engage the county and what we might be able to do with that. Power lines, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm right there by 34, and they are the most hideous thing, and it's it's disturbing to me. So I understand. I don't know that there is much, but we will go ahead and Chris, we can talk a little bit more about if there's anything we can do, or at least make noise about it, so we're not just being complicit about it. So thank you. Anyone else?
Sure.
You-
You're in charge.
Patrick De Palma, 32 Centerville Road, Holmdel, New Jersey. Our family with the De Palma farm is very disappointed in the outcome of you putting it out to bid. Our family, and especially my father, who gave it to Holmdel to go out to purchase, is 93 years old and is disappointed that he did that, because our family did not have to let Holmdel get it. We could have gave it to a builder. A builder could have been there, and it could have been all houses, all right? So our family is very, very disappointed in the outcome of what you decided in the last meeting, in the last minutes of it, all right? That wasn't fair, that everybody left the meeting and you went in executive session and came to that conclusion. And Ms. LaMountain, you were gonna table it for 2 weeks to talk about what you could do. And in 10 minutes, you came back and decided that yous were gonna put the property out to bid. So how do you decide that in 10 minutes? All right? But our family, again, has been in this town for over 100 years, way over 100 years, all right? And we didn't have to do this. We gave it to them because you were gonna keep it as a working farm, and we were gonna be able to farm it till we were done. And that's what the last committee told us, all right? And I know yous were not there 25 years ago, but this farm was the first one that was ever bought by Holmdel. Nobody had a clue of what to put in contracts. No, and the committee even said that, if you could find people from that committee. We don't know what to put in the contracts. So a lot of stuff didn't get in there. That's why we were told when we were done after the 25 years, we could extend it for 5 to 10 more years. That's what we said. We're not gonna go more than 10 years. So that's why this is so disappointing to our family, because what we were told. And every farm that was bought by Holmdel Township after ours has benefited. Where the F&F farm had got 10 years free rent before he left. All right? We've been paying since day one. All right? Callan Farm is lifetime rights. I know that's a different situation, but Holmdel put money in that. So our farm we have gotten screwed by Holmdel Township. All right? We're not asking for a lot. We're asking for 5 years. Okay? To make up money that we lost because of deer. That 50 acres of pumpkins I planted, devastated. So how do I get that money back? Seed, plowing, fuel. DJ knows. So our family isn't asking for a lot. But my whole thing is, how can you go to an executive session and in 10 minutes decide to put a farm out to bid when you said you had to look into it? So that's my very disappointed in Holmdel.
Okay.
If we knew what this was going to be right now, we would have never sold it to Holmdel.
Just for your benefit, sir, this was not something that has been an impulsive decision. This is something that has been talked about over time. It's been part of the committee and considerations. Council, as everyone knows, has been involved in this, so it is not a spontaneous decision. I don't know, if
Yeah, I don't think I have anything further to add, Deputy Mayor, except that obviously an executive session is attorney-client privilege, so we're not going to get
Yeah.
into.
One thing I wanted to
Excuse
say,
me,
how
sir.
do you, I mean, there's no talking. There's not even a meeting with us. There's not even, like, you can't even, if, there's like 3 different scenarios. You, like, Bayonet Farm, you have, 3 different or 4 different, contracts. Ours, we're not even talked to see what we can do to come up with something.
Respectfully, if I could just, Deputy Mayor, through you, a February 13th letter was sent to 32 Centerville Road, and at the conclusion of the letter, actually, you did get it. There was a FedEx tracking that confirmed it, and the police department, subsequent to your follow-up, hand-delivered it to you. The letter said at the end of it that if you wish to discuss options, please contact my office and we could set up a meeting with the appropriate township officials to discuss this further. We recognize that the import of state law requiring bidding is not, the desired outcome by the tenant, and the township has done everything in its power to try and maintain collegiality and to cooperate. So, respectfully, a letter was provided outlining that, and I did speak with your former attorney as well as your current attorney on the matter.
Okay, were you saying I'm lying that I didn't get it?
No. Come on forward, ma'am.
My name is Donna Arecki. I live at 47 Van Brackle Road in Holmdel, New Jersey. I hate public speaking, but I have to do this. Just for your information, the situation with the letter, I was there. So there is a main mailbox on the road. It was not delivered to that mailbox. There is a mailbox as you pull all the way up to the top of the farm. That mailbox he does not use, and that's where we ended up finding it by accident. So he really did not know for quite a period of time that he received the letter. Secondly, since we are celebrating the 250th year of our country, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Walling family deeded this property to the De Palmas. So this property, the connection to the family, Mr. De Palma was married to her, according to the records. This, to him, isn't just about the lands for farming and making money. This is where he grew up. He was in, I don't know if any of you had a very close relationship with your grandmothers, I did. He was in that farmhouse from the time he was 10 years old, eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. His blood, sweat, and tears of his family are in that soil. The history of our town is in that soil because of their family. I'm begging you all, please look into your hearts. Please try to figure out a way to allow them. His father's 93 years old. Please do not let that man die with them losing this farm. Please, I beg you, he goes to this farm. We've talked to senators, to former mayors. Everybody said to us, if this was me, I'd find a way to make it work. I'm telling you, you can't imagine the number of people that we spoke to. Please, I'm begging you, find it in your hearts to try. A porcel. Just allow this man to die in peace. He feels like it's his fault because he believed the council at that time when they said with the gentleman's agreement, and I'm not fighting with you with law, none of that. I'm just telling you, that's what they told him. He's 93 years old. I'm begging you, please, try to find a way.
There's a process that has been put in place, and it's suggested that you follow the process so that there is a chance for continuing. No one has said you can't participate in the process. There is a lease that was signed. It's a legal document. So there are two different perspectives here. There's the legal perspective and there's an emotional perspective. And as the township committee, we have legal obligations, whether we like it or not. There are legal obligations that we have to follow through with. So no one is saying we do not want De Palma Farms to continue there. What we need to happen legally is for the process to be followed. And that's what we're doing.
And Pat, you know, I know what you're going through. I know how hard this is for you and your family. Okay, we've known each other since we grew up. It's unfortunate that this committee is the one that is dealing with this at this moment, and obviously we're not. 25 years ago, when your father and your mother and your uncles and your aunts and they signed that lease, we're kind of stuck in a position here, and it's hard because we can't just do what we want to do. We can't just do. We want to do this for Patrick because of his hardship and his family. We're stewards of the township, so we have to just do what we're elected to do, and do the best that we can. But a lot of it comes to legality. A lot of this comes from what we're bound to do by the law. And, if our legal counsel is telling us that this is a contract, a lease that expired with no extensions in it, and that the process is to now put the property out for a public bid because that's what the laws dictates, we're bound by that. And if we were to go against that, especially now publicly in any way, shape, or form, I mean that is not what we're elected to do. We're not elected to have favoritism or go against the law. We have to follow what we feel is right, and it's a very unfortunate situation. I feel terrible, and you and I have been talking about this for well over a year, if not a year and a half. I'm sorry that this is what's happening. That this is the way things are going, but at the end of the day, your family had a lease, and that lease expired, and unless there were, other things that maybe could have happened, but I don't know what those are. This is where the road has led us to now, and it's unfortunate. And we apologize for your hardship and what you're going through personally, and it's unfortunate. And I really wish that when they signed that lease, that they did put in, if there was some type of an agreement, that they put that in the lease. I'm just trying to tell you, we can't go by what was said 25 years ago.
But you have to realize it was the first one that was done, and that
We understand that.
that they didn't know what the
We understand that, Pat, but that doesn't change what we can do. And
DJ, I've done my homework as well, all right? And I've talked to
Pat, come up and speak if you're going to speak, please.
I've done my research as well, all right? I have talked to past committee people, other towns, other mayors, South Jersey people that will deal with farms. And everybody has told me the committees could do whatever they want. They just have to want to do it. They have to want to
Well,
do it.
we're not gonna do something that we want to do with our hearts if it's illegal. So I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen.
Again, I ask everybody. I ask lots of people, senators. Again, the committee could do whatever they want. You do things behind your executive sessions, just like your Horn telescope. That was a done deal, okay? That got all turned around.
Yeah, you're comparing apples and bowling balls, Pat, but
again,
I apologize, but like I said, this
it
is,
can be done.
the-
You just gotta wanna do it.
we can do whatever we want, but we're not gonna do something that's illegal or against the laws. And that's what we're being advised to do.
Come on forward, Pat.
Terminator for a second.
Oh. Patrick Trusita, 56 Line Road. I want to comment about the Crawford Hill horn antenna. That is a national historic landmark. Okay. That was owned by Bell Labs and put in. It has been recognized as the cradle of Big Bang cosmology measurements. It made a measurement that it has profound implications to how the universe was created. Okay. To say when the new owner proposed to do townhouses up there, I think the community came together and the world came together to make sure that the horn antenna was saved. That's what was done, and the Holmdel committees acted in unison with the public and the community, worldwide community, to preserve the horn antenna. And Holmdel acquired it, eminent domain, and it's now Robert Wilson Park. So to conflate the Holmdel horn antenna and Crawford Hill with the lease situation going on Centerville Road is beyond pale. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. You're supposed to come up for one comment, and I said no to Jay.
Why don't we finish up who else hasn't gone?
Yeah. Okay. Any other public? Come on forward.
How you doing, Lance? Loopy Line Road.
Excuse me.
Just one comment. The corner of Line Road and Bethany. There's a couple of potholes there. So hopefully that can be addressed. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, they reached out to Hazlitt. I believe it's on the Hazlitt side. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. You want to make one more? Come on up. I'll let you make one more comment if you wanted, ma'am. You wanted to come back.
We do this all the time online, so why not you? All right. There would be no America if the Walling family hadn't fought in the Revolutionary War. So he is trying to diminish what we're discussing here as far as history, and that to me is just ridiculous, because there wouldn't have been whatever that, and I never attended these meetings before, whatever it was that he was saying that you saved in Holmdel, if the Walling family hadn't fought in the Revolutionary War, and we have America. So
Okay.
I said that.
So-
Thank you.
I don't believe that's what's being insinuated.
Yeah.
The property is going to be preserved as a farm. We can't develop it. I don't think that's what he was insinuating.
Well, he was diminishing,
Okay. I don't think this is the proper forum. If you folks, you're free to go outside and talk about it if you'd like. Jay, out of fairness, I'm going to allow you. If you want to come up, you had one more comment, just come on and then. No, I can't. No.
Jay, 18 Ladwood Drive. You're being very generous. Who complained? Was it? Oh. Always love you, Mr. Impreveduto, just now that the election's over and all the noise and all the this, to the best of your ability, where does Vonage stand? I mean, are they funded? Is the first phase going to happen? Or is part of the committee going to have a look at what it looks like? There's a lot of questions out there. It doesn't look like they're spending a dime to maintain the place, and probably I wouldn't either till I was ready to go. But where does it stand, like, realistically?
I'll let Mike speak to the process, because I don't want to make any missteps there, but I will say I've spoken to Mayor Foster about reigniting the ad hoc committee for a review of the aesthetics.
Yeah.
This way we can get that sort of going again and make sure that we've got, listen, everyone's going to have a different opinion, right, as to what looks appropriate and what doesn't, but to at least come to some resolution on certain things there.
Yeah.
And I do know that the owners are amenable to doing that.
Okay.
We just haven't kicked that off to initiate. But Mike, if you can speak to the process.
Yeah, they've provided us with various information consistent with what was shown on the screens at a past township committee meeting. we've actually exchanged, I think we have their signature to the redevelopment agreement itself. And once we have all the documents, Special Counsel Andy Bayer's handling the documentation on this one, the Township Committee will issue a letter advising them that they've completed their obligations to the committee as the redevelopment agency. That will then free them up to make application to the planning board for site plan approval, and I believe they need subdivision approval as well. They've advised that they are going to make that application imminently once we provide that sign off, which we're prepared to do with, in a matter of days. So that will be on file with the planning board. The planning board professionals will do their review, and I would anticipate a meeting of the planning board probably in a 2-month time frame to hear that application.
Okay, so there's no sense at all that they're hesitant or possibly not moving forward?
No,
They're moving.
seem eager to continue the process and move forward.
Okay, thank you, that's it.
Thank you. Any other further public comment? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment.
And Deputy Mayor, if the committee would entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss real property acquisitions for open space, and the committee will not be coming back out of closed session for any formal action.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
Can we just do it here?